let a lot of people know that the Birtle Community Foundation is here to serve this community, to provide dollars back to the community, and plant the seed with those who are perhaps in a position to donate, that this is one more cause that perhaps you might want to leave some money to. So my closing message is, and I guess Roger already talked about this to some degree, is start small, think big, and be patient. It doesn't happen overnight. Some foundations take several years before they have enough funds to generate some payments back to the community. But I think, as was pointed out to me last night by the principal of the high school who accepted the dollars for the fitness equipment, yeah, it's not a big check, but it'll buy one set of weights that we wouldn't have bought otherwise. So it's appreciated, and maybe again the people there who heard that are going to be fairly keen about helping out. So I guess that's the bulk of what I wanted to talk to you about. I just wanted to tell you a little bit about what we've done in Hamiota. I can maybe expound a little later about some of the details of things we've done in terms of fundraising. But I think the most significant advice I can give to you is look to other foundations around the area and don't be at all afraid of copying what they've done to be successful. There's lots of activities in terms of fundraising. One of the things that we haven't been brave enough to try yet in Hamiota, but it's an event that NIPWA does quite well every year. They put on essentially they call it a ladies' night, and the ladies' night is just the way it's described. The ladies sit at the table and enjoy fine wine and fine service from their husbands and other men in the community who provide the service, and there are a number of things auctioned off during the evening, some of which are best not discussed in mixed company. But they raise a large number of dollars. So again, just look around and see what has been successful for others and try it out in your own community. So those are the points that I wanted to make, Roger. I'll certainly engage in discussion with anybody as we go forward. But again, I congratulate Birtle on this initiative, and I really hope you're successful. One very last comment, and I don't know if it applies to you or not. One of the things we've had to be very cautious about in Hamiota is our competition with other agencies in the community who are accepting donations, in particular the Hamiota Health Center Health Center Foundation. We've been very careful to point out that we're not in competition. We're just another charitable organization, but you do have to be cautious in that regard. There's only so many coins in everybody's pocket, and there's quite a number of hands out, and you want to make sure that you're not seen to be in competition with, or worse still, in some way trying to put yourself ahead of other charitable organizations within the community. So I'll stop there, and we'll have some more discussion later on.
Well, thank you very much, Alan. And certainly words of wisdom there. And I think echoing some of those sentiments, when we started down this path in creating our Birtle Foundation, we did so with a recognition that we wanted a vehicle in this community so that our residents that have grown up and thrived in this part of the world would have an opportunity to give something back. I know our roots and my family in this community, our roots go back a long way, and I've been very blessed in all of the work that I've been able to do in this community, and being on council for the years that I have, and being a part of something that's been pretty special to me. And I guess recognizing that there's a whole bunch of people probably in the very same spot, and we've had a bunch of them come together with sort of a common vision, the result of which is the foundation that we now will be able to go forward for years and years into the future and have something very positive. And it's interesting, Alan mentioned the Winnipeg Foundation. We have had great success in our discussions with our neighboring foundations. We've learned an awful lot. The internet is certainly a wonderful device to find all these people. In some of the other work that I do, some of the other hats that I wear, I've had great conversations with some of our fellow foundation members from Selkirk, from Virden, from Brandon, and we've learned an awful lot from them on how to do things and sort of why we do them. And when we started this adventure, Denise Campbell from the Winnipeg Foundation, she's been out here to Birtle, she's sat down with our board, she's just been a great asset in helping us understand how and what and why we do all of the things that we're doing. And we've learned an awful lot of very valuable information in helping us create our foundation. We are members of the Canadian Foundation. We pay a membership to them, which allows us access to their websites. And that's where all of our templates and our policies come from. And it's been a great learning experience. And really, without the help of all those other foundations and the people from those foundations that have helped us out, we probably would not be here today where we are. So thank you so much for all the help that we've received from them. Now, I'm going to ask Audrey Gadd to come up. Audrey's going to talk about some of the options that we have for contributing to our foundation. Going forward, in the calendar year 2011, we are in pursuit of $100,000. We are hopeful that that will be the starting point for our foundation, and there are a number of different ways for everyone to be able to contribute to that. We are starting our Founders Club, and what our Founders Club is, in the calendar year 2011, anyone, any family, any individual who contributes $1,000 to our community fund will become a permanent member of our Founders Club. We will generate a plaque at the end of 2011 with all of the names of the people that have contributed $1,000, and that plaque will be displayed in the community in a prominent place. We haven't figured out exactly where yet, and that will be there forever, and that will be the start of our foundation. And it's interesting, certainly we've had some donations to date. One of the things that Denise Campbell said when she was out here at one of our board meetings, she said that foundations largely are built on $20 and $50 and $100 donations. It's not typically the $1 million that walks in the door. It'd be nice to have $1 million walk in the door, but you certainly do not plan and expect that. So foundations and the donations, to a large degree, come from the people in the community, and they typically are not the huge donations. So if I could ask Audrey to come up. Audrey's just going to walk us through one of the options that we have. Audrey's one of our board members. She's one of our financial geniuses. Thank goodness we have a few of those around, because certainly I'm not one. So Audrey, please come up, and I'll give the mic over to you, and you can explain what I'm talking about.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for coming out on such a snowy evening. As we've mentioned before, and I'd like to steal a line from Alan, it doesn't matter, you can start small. And what the foundation we're trying to build on is, if you're a family or a pensioner, it can be anybody. It's just a very worthwhile cause, and it is something that is going to benefit the community and your family in the end. The account is organized through the Vanguard Credit Union, and there are two separate ways of making deposits. One, obviously, if you are a credit union member, you, out of any of the Vanguard branches, you can do have an automatic allotment set up, and that can be according to your paycheck, weekly, monthly, semi-annually, etc., like that, and that would come out directly from your account. The other ways, we do have forms. If you're not with the Vanguard Credit Union, they're available. I have some printed off today, or they're at the branches, and they're just called pre-authorized debit forms. And if you've done any automatic payments, it's basically the same setup. We just require your banking information. Basically, a void check is the best way to go about it, and you just tick off your frequency and the amount that you want and sign it, and then hand it back in. And then the credit union girls will look after everything else that way. And that's it, in a nutshell.
It's actually pretty simple, and it works. So thank you, Audrey. Now, we do have some special guests this evening who are here for the purpose of making a donation to our foundation, and they are the Royal Bank from town and the credit union. So I would like to ask Jillian Porter to come up. Jillian is the, I guess you call the regional branch manager for this region, And I've had some great conversations with Jillian in the last little while, and she's here to make a presentation, a check from the Royal Bank to the Birtle Foundation. So
I'll just say a couple quick little things.
Please do.
So yes, on behalf of the RBC Foundation, we're very happy to be able to assist in getting the Birtle Foundation off the ground and become part of your Founders Club. As you know, RBC has been in your community for a while, and we continue to want to stay here and be part of your community. You guys have a great community. I remember coming to watch baseball many times when you had the Birtle Blue Jays here, so I'm well aware of what this community is about and the roots that it does have. So as the theme, I think, for this evening has been start small and start whenever you can, and I really truly encourage everyone. Foundations are great. They really help your community in many different ways, as well as you get that wonderful tax receipt that it's tax time now, so we all have to think about as well. So with that, I would like to present to the foundation $1,000 on behalf of the RBC Foundation. Thanks very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Also, from our local Vanguard Credit Union, we have Lucille Fulton. Lucille, would you like to come up, please?
We're also very proud to be part of the community. Same as the Royal Bank, the credit union's been around for a really long time. We believe very firmly in community commitments. All of our staff works at one volunteer organization or another. All the time, our organization has always encouraged the community commitment. And so with that, I'm very proud to present to Roger, to the Birtle District Foundation from the Birtle branch of the credit union, $5,000.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We might have to come back and use it
I'm
again.
just not sure. Maybe I put something I shouldn't have the last time, Audrey.
I'm almost there. Check again.
I think you got it.
Well, there was a flash. That's a good sign.
Flash was good. Thanks, Roger.
Great, thank you. Well, thank you so much for our two donations here this evening, and we have been somewhat active in the past few weeks in approaching some of the businesses and some of the organizations that we do business with, and I have to mention Russell Ready Mix and Ken Magnowski, who has certainly been a huge player. Certainly with the Arm of Birtle, we've enjoyed a very positive working relationship with Ken for many years. I had the opportunity to have a visit with Ken here about 10 days ago, and we received a small donation from Russell Ready Mix in the amount of $10,000. And that was just huge. I certainly did not expect that, and that really gets our foundation off to a great start. It's going to be very exciting to see where we end up by the end of this calendar year in our quest for $100,000. We have had some donations come in previous to that, which will be certainly a part of our Founders Club, and we've actually had a couple other donations come in this evening that will add again to our Founders Club. So the momentum is starting. We've had excellent responses from a lot of the businesses in town. This, I think, being our kickoff, we will certainly have more events over the course of this calendar year, and we will try very hard to have a presence going forward every summer. Try and have information booths at a number of the events that happen in our community regularly. We're not going to go away. The foundation is going to be here, as I said, forever. It's an opportunity for people to become involved in their own community. And I think over time, we will become more and more and more of an active player and more of an influence in what we can do. Once the money does start to grow, we will be able to gift more back